We live in a strange time right now. You look at a presentation today, the slides look incredibly clean, the colors are perfectly smooth, but bosses still hate them. They hate them because the words are entirely empty.
Yeah. It is the ultimate modern workplace paradox. We have these beautifully rendered cinematic pictures, but we have zero actual meaning behind them.
Welcome to this deep dive. We are thrilled you are here with us. Today our mission is incredibly specific. We are unpacking a comprehensive guide. It shows how to build AI presentations that are both beautiful and smart. We are focusing on a powerful tool called Gamma to make that happen.
Exactly. So let us map out the roadmap for you today. First, we're going to cover the crucial 15-minute pre-work. Next, we look at generating your first draft. We do this without losing your unique voice. Then we have 7 specific AI prompts. They handle boss feedback in seconds. Finally, we will dive into expert tricks for sharing and corporate branding.
I have to offer a vulnerable admission here before we start. 2-sec silence. I still wrestle with blank page anxiety myself when opening these apps.
Oh yeah, that happens to absolutely everyone. It perfectly highlights the core problem we are facing today. AI tools are currently split into 2 distinct camps. You have your writing tools like ChatGPT or Claude. They are fantastic at thinking, but they simply cannot draw slides.
Right. And then you have the other side of the equation.
Exactly. You have dedicated slide tools like Gamma. They generate absolutely beautiful layouts and pictures, but the default text they write is usually incredibly weak. It is generic corporate fluff.
You need a final presentation that does both things well. It has to be intellectually smart, and it has to be visually beautiful. The guide gives us a really clear solution here. You should never let AI do 100% of the work. That is a massive trap. 80% of the real work happens after that first draft.
That is the secret nobody talks about. You still have to listen to your boss. You still have to listen to your customers. The AI is just getting you to the starting line faster.
So let us unpack this prep strategy. A lot of people make a huge mistake right out of the gate. They open the app immediately. They just start clicking buttons. They do not have a clear narrative in their head yet. Why is it such a mistake to just jump straight into the app?
Skipping the planning phase guarantees a pretty but completely pointless presentation.
That perfectly captures it. The guide suggests a very different approach here. You need to spend 15 to 20 minutes planning. Do this in a simple distraction-free document first. A basic Google Doc is absolutely perfect for this.
Getting your message clear on a plain white page changes everything. Once you have that solid plan, the actual building phase accelerates. It becomes much easier.
There's a really specific formatting trick the guide mentions here. I find it totally fascinating.
Oh, this is brilliant. When you write your plan in that document, you use a special symbol. You just use 3 simple dashes to separate your pages. You just type dash, dash, dash.
It is basically like stacking Lego blocks of data. You write the main title for page 1, you drop in those 3 dashes, then you write the content for page 2.
It creates a rhythm. Gamma looks for Markdown. That is just the universal language of text formatting. So when you paste this text into Gamma, something magical happens. The system instantly recognizes those dashes as hard slide breaks.
That saves you from that tedious copy-paste dance. After you set up those pages, you really need to focus on the titles. The guide has a strict rule for this. It is called the title test.
I love the title test. Imagine an executive is reading only your slide titles. They should still understand your entire story. Those titles must be strong and clear.
Your audience should never have to guess what you mean. A bad title is something vague like market data.
Right. That tells the room absolutely nothing.
But a good title gives the punchline immediately. It is something like, our market share is growing because of mobile users.
You can feel the difference there. The good title makes a definitive point. It tells the audience exactly how to interpret the chart below it.
You really should read through your titles one by one. If the story does not flow logically, you fix the titles right then and there. Now let us move into generating that actual first draft.
This is where those abstract ideas start looking real. But again, you cannot just click blindly. You have to be intentional and choose the right mode.
When you land on that home page, you will see a few options. Do not let the AI try to think of the words for you. You must explicitly click the paste in text option.
This keeps you firmly in the driver's seat. You just spent good time crafting that solid, logical plan. You do not want the AI hallucinating and going off script.
Next, you select the presentation format. Then make sure you choose the 16:9 size. That is the standard wide shape. Everyone uses it for professional office meetings.
Once you paste your carefully written words, a critical question pops up. Gamma is going to ask if you want it to rewrite your content. Or it asks if it should keep it exactly as it is.
This right here is the golden button. You must always click Preserve this exact text. This is incredibly vital. You worked hard to ensure those titles pass the title test.
If you let the AI rewrite them, you lose all that nuance. It strips away the hard work, it takes your sharp ideas and turns them into boring corporate speak.
Now we have to pick the visual theme. You want to match the vibe of your meeting. Loud, aggressive colors are highly distracting.
The guide suggests sticking to two highly reliable themes. The first is called Minimal Blue Accent. It is simple and looks sharp.
The second great option is called Commons. It is perfect if you want a slightly more modern look. It keeps that serious professional office feel.
Now we need to discuss visuals. Visuals are crucial. The guide actually recommends using something called image placeholders for your first pass.
Yeah, these are literally just empty gray aesthetic boxes. They just sit quietly where a real image is supposed to go. Beat. Why use empty gray placeholder boxes instead of AI photos?
Placeholders prove to your boss you intend to use real official company photos later.
Exactly. It manages expectations perfectly. It looks incredibly professional without trying to fake anything.
But sometimes you actually do want AI images right away. If you do, you really need to use the right model.
If you are on the Plus plan, you want to use Flux Pro. It is very fast, and the aesthetic quality is extremely high.
And if you are on a higher tier plan, choose Nano Banana Pro. It is honestly the absolute best AI for images right now.
Regardless of the model, always choose the illustration style. It looks clean and artistic. It avoids that creepy, uncanny valley effect with fake human photos.
So now we have a beautiful structured draft, but the job is definitely not finished yet. Your boss is absolutely going to have feedback.
This is where the workflow magic really happens. We are going to use the AI agent. Let me define that quickly. It is a smart digital assistant that lives in your chat window.
It is sitting there, always ready to help you edit. You do not have to manually push pixels around anymore. The guide outlines 7 specific ways to use this.
Let us walk through a scenario. Imagine your boss looks at the draft. They say the risk slide needs to be at the very beginning.
In the old days, you would drag that slide manually. You would have to fix all the page numbers yourself. Now you just open the chat box, you type, move the risk slide to be right after the summary slide.
The AI understands the context immediately. It moves the slide in a single second. Or think about getting real-time data. A manager might interrupt and ask about competitor market share.
Normally, you would leave the app and start Googling. Instead, you use a specific prompt. You literally just type, search the web for the latest market share numbers of AI models in 2026. Put them in a table and add it as a new slide after slide 4.
The AI actually goes out and finds the real numbers. It makes a table and creates that new slide. Then you can just ask it to turn that table into a clean bar chart.
Whoa! Imagine generating real-time market data in a fully formatted chart instantly. That used to take hours of manual research and formatting.
It is truly stunning. Another huge issue is fact-checking. Finance teams are notoriously careful with numbers. They get serious anxiety over unverified data.
If your slide confidently claims 400 million active users, they will question it. You just highlight the number and open the AI chat. You ask it to verify that specific metric.
The AI searches for the official quarterly report. It updates the number if you were wrong, and it adds a proper professional footnote.
Next is transforming text to charts. Too many words make people stop listening. Visuals help an audience understand complex ideas much faster.
You can use a beautifully simple prompt here. Just say, turn the text on this slide into a waterfall chart. Show how our users grew from 1 billion to 3 billion.
It generates the chart instantly. If there is some extra legend you do not need, just right-click and delete it. The chart automatically reflows and fixes itself.
You also need to control visual hierarchy. I want the audience to know exactly where to look. If every single box looks the same, the main point gets lost.
You can use the AI to make the important stuff pop out. You prompt it, make the third column on this slide look most important, use a different color and much bigger text.
The AI redesigns the entire slide layout. It draws everyone's eyes exactly to that third column.
Then there's the classic problem of joining slides together. Your boss looks at it and says, just combine slide 11 and 12.
If you just tell the AI to combine them, it's kind of going to look like a messy wall of text. The trick here is to give the AI a very strict constraint. Beat. Why is it so crucial to give the AI strict word limits when combining slides?
Limits force the AI to select only the absolute best, most vital information.
That constraint keeps the audience's attention incredibly sharp. You literally type, use only 3 main points and no more than 50 words.
Finally, there's the translation workflow. You might need to send this exact deck to a team in another country. You can use the native translate tool in Gamma.
Giba, listen to me carefully here. You must duplicate your file first. If you do not duplicate it, you will completely overwrite your original English version.
AI translation is usually about 80% correct. It gets the words right, but the tone is often stiff, so you copy the translated text into Gemini.
And you use this specific prompt. This is a translation for a professional meeting. Please make it sound more natural and polite for a corporate office environment.
Gemini refines the tone perfectly. It makes you sound like a fluent local professional instead of a machine translator.
Sponsor. We are back, so we know how to handle the prep and the drafting now. We are ready for the final expert touches. These specific tips make your presentation truly stand out.
Most people use these AI tools in a very basic, linear way. But you can do so much more. You have to think about how your audience actually consumes the information.
Let us talk about scroll mode. People just assume slides only belong on big projectors in dark rooms. Gamma has a secret feature that changes this dynamic completely.
Scroll mode literally turns your standard slides into a beautifully flowing vertical website. It feels exactly like reading a high-quality digital magazine.
This is absolutely perfect for busy people. You do not want to send a long, boring email with a massive attachment. The boss is just going to ignore it.
Instead, you send them a clean link to the scrolling version. They can read it easily on their smartphone. They can scroll through it in the back of a taxi.
In corporate speak, this is called a pre-read. It gives them all the deep context before the actual meeting even starts. It respects their time.
It is a total game changer for executive communication. Now let us pivot to something that causes a lot of corporate anxiety: brand colors. Companies have incredibly strict visual guidelines.
AI is amazing, but it often gets the official corporate hex code slightly wrong. It will pick a shade of blue that is just a tiny bit off.
And that tiny mistake makes your presentation look incredibly unprofessional. The guide offers a really smart audit workflow to fix this. It essentially combines 3 different tools.
First, you finish all your content and layout work in Gamma. Then you download that entire deck as a standard PowerPoint file.
Next, you need to grab your company's official style guide PDF. Every marketing department has one. You upload that PDF and the new PowerPoint file straight into Claude.
And use a very specific demanding prompt. You tell it to look at this PowerPoint and my company's official brand guide. Tell me exactly which hex codes and fonts I need to change.
Why do we have to use Claude for the color audit?
Presentation tools often miss the exact official corporate hex codes required by management.
Claude acts as your ultimate tireless quality control. It ensures your final work looks 100% official and compliant.
So we have all the design and the branding fully polished. But there's one last thing we need to discuss. It is really the most important conceptual takeaway in this entire guide.
Let us get to that big idea recap. Because even with all this amazing futuristic technology, AI is still just a machine. You are the driver.
Your human brain is still the absolute key to this entire process. AI is just the eager assistant. You are the boss. The tool does not know your company's deep secrets.
Only humans can do the actual thinking. You are the only one who knows if your logical argument is truly strong enough to win the room.
Only humans can do the authentic storytelling. AI can generate thousands of words. But only you know how to structure a narrative to make people actually feel something.
And crucially, only humans can do the empathy and problem solving. AI can fix slide layouts fast, but only you understand what your boss is actually worried about deep down.
The absolute best results happen when you combine your nuanced human ideas with the brute force speed of the AI.
You do not have to learn every single trick we talked about today. Just start small. Try incorporating just one new trick tomorrow. Try using that AI agent to trim some heavy text down.
Once you see how incredibly easy that is, your confidence is going to grow. You will start trying the harder, more complex workflows later.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We have spent all this time optimizing how to create the perfect presentation, but it raises an important question for you to mull over. If AI can perfectly distill our complex ideas into beautiful, scrolling pre-reads for busy people, what if the ultimate presentation skill of the future isn't making slides at all, but knowing when a meeting should have just been a link?
That is absolutely something to think about. Until next time, keep exploring.
Take care, everyone. We will catch you on the next deep dive.